Have you ever noticed there seems to be a massive list of personal trainers and fitness professionals that seem to just absolutely dominate the online entrepreneurship space? Now, this list is not exhaustive, but I'm thinking Kayla Itsines, Sean Casey, Joe Wicks, James Smith, Adam Sullivan, even Alex Hormozi in his gym owning days ran classes and boot camps. So what is it about fitness professionals that turns them into such great online entrepreneurs and business owners? Well, this video, I'm going to dive into that a little bit. I have my theories, and then I'll reverse engineer how we as mere mortals can then turn around and use some of those skills and attributes for our own success and business. So first off, Tony Robbins says that in order to change, pain of staying the same needs to be greater than the pain of changing. And we as humans avoid pain a little bit more than we chase pleasure. One aspect of being a personal trainer is that there's a lot of pain. And I think that personal training is pain as a privilege. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, it's a hard job. You walk the gym floor, you try and get clients, you're cold approaching people in the gym to try and sell them a service that they probably don't really need, because if they're in the gym, they already know what they're doing. You're essentially pitching them to pay you a lot of money to do what they're already doing, just maybe a little bit better. And there's always going to be newbies who have no idea what to do or are really intimidated in a gym and need someone to start them off. But really, once you get the hang of it, once you're comfortable in the gym, a personal trainer isn't really that necessary. So it's a hard pitch. Also, in working for someone else, the salary is really not that great. So naturally, to make any money, you have to start your own business. So the pain of being a struggling PT is greater than the pain of trying to go out there and gain more clients, be online, get an online presence, grow on social media, post on YouTube, whatever. I think it's built into the system that it's a hard gig. Like, getting out of that pain is a much greater drive and necessity than in a lot of other jobs. Because in a lot of other jobs, they get paid better, quite frankly. And if you have a salary, you can get into what I call the comfortable dead zone. It's where you get paid just enough to get the car, the mortgage, have a good life. And so taking a risk and starting an online business is just a bit too risky, because you stand to lose so much more. You're not coming from a place of pain, you're coming from a place of comfort. So that's my first point. PT is painful much more than the pain of changing to an online business. PTs and fitness professionals understand that you don't go to the gym once and get jacked. You can't just have an absolutely really well-structured single gym session and come out of it with an amazing physique. That takes time. It takes reps. PTs understand that the compound effect is not obvious in the early days. You can't build a great physique on 10 gym sessions. You can't build a business on 10 sales calls, and you can't build a personal brand on 10 social media posts. PTs understand this implicitly because by nature of them having a good body, they have lived that experience. They have been in the gym for years. They have done it for years and saw nothing of it for many, many months. And even then, the results weren't instant. They were very slow and gradual and not obvious. This directly translates to business, because you can be building something and be completely in the dark as to whether or not this is working. You can be posting into the abyss and getting minimal views, and you don't know whether it's going to pay off in the end. It takes an element of faith. Same as the gym. You've got to trust the process. You've got to post and just hope you're doing the right thing. Same as the gym. You've got to go to the gym day in, day out, do all the right things, and have faith that at the end of it, there'll be a reward. And we generally understand that you don't get jacked in 10 sessions. So why do we think you can do it in 10 social media posts? Why do we think that you can do 10 YouTube videos and grow? It's going to take a lot longer than that. It's going to take longer to build the skills. It's going to take longer to build the audience. And it's just not something we expect in the gym space. So why do we expect it in the normal life? And that's why I think PTs naturally have that understanding and can grow a business slowly over the long term without seeing an immediate result. So my third point is more about the act of being physically fit itself. And this transfers over to other people that aren't necessarily personal trainers. Now, I'm reminded of this clip with Piers Morgan and Chris Williamson.
Mental strength or physical strength?
Physical strength. Mental strength is downstream from it.
I think mental first. I think mental strength is the number one issue in the world right now. I think we need to make our young people mentally stronger. They're all gym bunnies.
I don't disagree.
They're all piling the weights up, but they don't have it up here.
I think that most people are neither. I think that most people have atrophied physically and mentally. And I think that the easiest change that you can do, trying to think your way out of overthinking, is like trying to sniff your way out of a cocaine addiction. And you can't really change the mind with the mind. You have to change it with the body first. So going for a walk will do way more for your mood than sitting and thinking about and vacillating about whatever's dealing with you. If I had the choice between a good night's sleep or a hard training session, I would go to the gym, because the difference in my mood before and after the gym is way more than before and after a night's sleep. So I don't disagree. The two work simpatico together. But for me, if you do not have a physical practice of some kind and you're struggling with mental health, you need to look at the physical side before you look at the mental side. That is the foundation. That's the raw materials of what your mentality is going to grow out of.
I love that Chris Williamson says that mental toughness and mental strength is downstream of physical toughness and physical strength. And I think that's true. I think if you are physically strong, physically capable, it means you're able to better deal with the rigors of business and all of the hard things associated. Also, look at Dan Martell. He said on a lot of his YouTube videos that his business basically sucked until he got fit. He got fit and it gave him the skills and attributes and the mental resilience to then succeed. And he said the fitter he got, the better his business did. So maybe there's something in the fact that if you are fit, if you are strong, if you are capable in the physical arena, that transfers over to business. So maybe it's not that all these really rich and famous and successful podcasters and online business owners like Alex Hormozi, like Chris Williamson. So maybe it's not that they have the time and space and money to go to the gym now that they're successful. Maybe they are successful because they were fit and strong. So what does this mean? Maybe you're not a PT, but you want to reverse engineer these. Is that possible? Well, I think so. So how do we reverse engineer these points and make it into something that we can actually use for our own success? So first, I want you to harbor the pain. You harbor the pain and almost feed the pain a little bit. Think about how much you don't want to stay the same. That if you want to change, focus on the aspects of the things that you don't want in your current life. Focus on the pain of staying the same. That will feed that and grow that. And hopefully that will make the pain of staying the same greater than the pain of changing. Because if it seems like, oh man, I really want to be over here, but I need to do all these painful things like make sales calls, post content. If you really don't want to stay where you're at, then it shifts the metric in your favor for wanting to go and do all of those hard things. Secondly, remember that all of the things you're doing are invisible reps, whether it's a sales call, whether it's posting content, whether it's filming another YouTube video, you are building the skills and the reps. You're stacking muscle fibers onto muscle fibers. You are doing the work that is not immediately recognizable. However, it will have an effect in the future. This is something that we can bring forward and a mindset that we can apply to our lives in how do we build our business, our YouTube, our social media following. And thirdly, get fit, build a physical practice. Now, I'm not saying hit the gym and do bicep curls, although if you want to do that, great. I think there's a lot of things you can do. Running, cycling, Pilates, just having a physical practice, getting out and walking more, just getting steps, doing all of the things that get you fit. It builds the mental resilience, it builds confidence, it gives you aura, it makes you feel more capable and more agentic in the world. So go get fit, and then that will help you in your business or professional life. If you're enjoying these videos, please drop a like and subscribe. It really makes a difference to the channel, and it's really the only metric we have to go on. Currently trying to gain some muscle for a challenge, so if you want to check that video out, check that out over here. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.